This is the story of a king who deceitfully married a fairy. In a valley called Neelam, there was a small lake where no one would go at night because the fairies would come to bathe there after sunset. The whole valley knew that if anyone went near the lake at night, the fairies would scare them so much that they would never even think about returning. The valley was ruled by a king who from childhood had always dreamed of seeing a fairy and marrying one. He tried many times to catch a fairy but never succeeded. The king started learning more and more about fairies and eventually found out that each fairy had a magical scarf that allowed them to fly between the fairyland and the lake. If someone could get hold of the scarf, they could control the fairy. One day, the king hid in the bushes near the lake and stayed there for 2 days. On the third day, he managed to steal a fairy's scarf. As soon as he had it, he left. By then it was 5 in the morning, the time when the fairies would leave. All the fairies flew back except one, who stayed behind as she could not find her scarf. After all the fairies had left, the king approached the lake and saw a fairy sitting and crying. He asked, "Who are you and why are you crying?" The fairy replied, "I am Amira, a fairy. My friends have all gone back, but I have been left behind because I have lost my magical scarf." The king said, "Don't cry. I am the king of this land. Come with me. It's not safe for you to stay here. Your friends will surely come back to help you tonight. Until then, come stay in my palace." After much insistence from the king, the fairy agreed and went to the palace. When they arrived, the king gave the fairy a drink. As soon as she drank it, she fainted and slept for several days. On the other hand, the queen of the fairies and her helpers came every day to search for Amira, but they could not find her. After some time, the fairy queen ordered that no fairy should ever visit the human world again, as she did not want what happened to Amira to happen to anyone else. After a few days, Amira woke up. She rushed outside and the king followed her. When she reached the lake and found no one, she began to cry every day from dusk to dawn. Amira sat by the lake, hoping someone would come for her. Months passed in this way. One day, the king said to Amira, "It's getting harder to hide the fact that you are a fairy. To keep you safe, you need a powerful protector, and only I can provide that. You must marry me." Desperate, Amira agreed to marry the king. After some time, Amira gave birth to twins daughters. Life with the king was going well for Amira, but one day she overheard the king talking to his minister and found out that it was the king who had trapped her. She said nothing because she did not want to leave her daughters. The twin girls turned one and the king organized a grand celebration. He went to Amira and said, "My queen, I am very happy today. Ask me for anything and I will give it to you." Amira replied, "Can I ask for something?" The king laughed and said, "Of course, ask away." Amira said, "I want my fairy scarf. I know you have it. I just want to meet my fairy mother once. I would not leave my family here, I promise." The king, convinced by her words, agreed and brought her the scarf. The moment Amira touched the scarf, her mother in fairyland received a signal and quickly appeared before her. Seeing her mother, Amira was overjoyed and hugged her, crying. As soon as they embraced, her mother realized how Amira had been trapped by the king. In anger, the fairy mother confronted the king and said, "Your daughters will have powers beyond imagination, but those powers will bring harm to others." Hearing this, the fairy mother laughed as Amira had promised to stay with her family. Years passed, and the twins Anna and Elsa turned 5. Strange things started happening to them. They were always angry and stubborn. If their demands weren't met, destruction followed. Anna could turn anything she looked at in anger into stone, and Elsa could burn anything with her eyes when she was mad. Everyone, even the servants, became afraid of the princesses. The palace was filled with bird and stone-turned objects. Seeing all this, the king locked the girls in a high-walled palace where they could neither go out nor anyone come in. They spent their entire childhood in isolation. When they turned 18, the sisters planned an escape. In the morning, when the cook came to deliver food, they knocked him out and wore his clothes to sneak out. They wandered into the city, and upon hearing people talk about them, they became furious. Everywhere they went, things caught fire and people turned to stone. When they returned to the palace, their anger hadn't subsided. Seeing their destructive powers, the king became desperate. Amira was accidentally turned into stone by Anna, and the king didn't know what to do. The people demanded that the princesses be killed or no one would survive. Hearing the chaos, the king used the scarf to summon the fairy mother and begged for forgiveness. He said, "Please save my queen and daughters. I regret everything I did. I can't lose them." Moved by the king's apology, the fairy mother reversed the magic. Anna and Elsa were overjoyed to see their mother restored. The fairy mother then explained to the girls how to control their powers and use them for good. The sisters spent some time with the fairy mother, learning about their powers. Afterward, they returned to their kingdom and won the hearts of the people by helping them with their newfound abilities.